Hi, it's been a while since I've made a video. This video is a sort of a brain dump. Just like most of you that may come across this video, I have also watched and analyzed a lot of charts along the way. I'm sure a lot of people see things that others don't, and I'm sure someone out there also sees similarly to what I see. I've always kept in my mind that no matter how good you are, there's always someone out there better than you. Just like everyone else that analyzes historical charts, hundreds or thousands of them, at some point you see something. Through analyzing thousands of charts, at some level you see things that others don't, and earn a form of mastery. This skill can grant you to see a glimpse of the future. I once heard someone say that the greatest traders can see the future, sometimes seconds, sometimes minutes ahead, sometimes hours, days, weeks, years, and so on. Most people, when presented with a chart, it looks random. However, from analysis and experience, you see things. And as for my case, I started seeing things that other people may believe to be impossible. Everyone I know and have met deny what I see. I believe it is just incomprehensible. And I agree. No such knowledge should exist, and it should not be known publicly. A large entity could take full advantage of it and potentially break markets. And that is the reason why that I should keep this knowledge to myself. I know people out there knows the same and sees the same and also knows the risks of sharing it. Even though I cannot show you how I see them, maybe by giving you a bit of information can start a spark on you or someone somewhere out there to pursue the knowledge that I know. From my experience and perspective, this is how I believe the markets work. Let's begin with the foundation. In a perfect world, the markets would look like a calm lake. This would be the lake. Just a constant flow of strength throughout its surface. Now, someone at some point started something. That something is like a pebble dropped in the middle of the lake. And that caused a never-ending ripple of cause and effects happening over and over and over again. To make it simpler, let's zoom in on a wave. This is what a wave looks like. This wave represents the overall flow of strength, and everything in it or on it acts like a rubber band. If something goes too far, it gets whipped right back to it. just like that. And so we get something like this. This strength is the combination of all trades that happen globally. It is like the gravity. It is this strength is the god of the markets, and time is the biggest enemy of the markets. Time is the guardian of its riches. Within the big waves are a series of medium waves, and within them are smaller ones. So the smaller wave or medium ones would look like this. Within this medium waves are the smaller waves. These medium waves represents decisions that cause heavy effects made on the combined markets. And within these medium waves are the smaller ones that are caused by minor events like news that occur on a regular basis. All of these are cycles within cycles. So the big wave is one cycle, the medium wave is another cycle within it, and the smaller ones are other cycles within the medium waves, and within them are micro cycles. And the cycles themselves can be made up of fractals. Let's go back to the wave. Let's say it is a very severe or very heavy type of decision made on the markets, and you have this strength that is flowing upwards. The this the core strength is flowing upwards, or the god of the markets, which is this very big strength that flows in waves. And you have a decision that was made, and as it flows upwards, that decision that they made caused a fluctuation on the markets. This is the medium wave within it, and it went way up because it was caused there's a lot of trades happening. When that happens, it gets whipped right back down at some point, going back to the median or the middle strength, which is the main strength. Same that goes with the smaller ones. So let's say this is the medium wave within the large wave. If there is good news, and as this medium wave is flowing upwards and the bigger wave is flowing upwards as well, when there is good news, it causes that the fluctuation to be higher than normal, and it gets whipped right back down, back to where it should be. And on the other side, if there is good news on a downwards, heavy downwards movement of the core strength, what happens is that it will, if it's a medium wave, then it will be very limited on its upwards movement, and it will get whipped right back down way further. And if it's a small news within this medium wave, it's the same thing. If there's good news, the fluctuation is very limited, and it gets whipped right back down. So it would look like that. All of these occur over and over again. These are the fractals within fractals within fractals, cycles within cycles within cycles, structures within structures within structures, and waves within waves within waves. Mathematics in visual form. Now the problem is, how do you see them? That part I cannot show you. When a person is presented with a chart, everything looks random. Candles are different in every time frame, and they're also different in every broker. Like a candle that shows upwards movement here in a different broker could be a downwards movement. Little do people know that what they are looking, all this randomness, is a series of repetitions of fractals, cycles, structures, and waves. Behind these fluctuations, behind these cycles, behind these waves, are the real patterns. From my view, some of them look very, very similar, that they might as well be clones of each other or replicas of each other. To see them allows you to anticipate moves regardless of time frames. At times, there were instances where it allowed me to make really good snipe entries down to the seconds. This type of trading requires a lot of focus, time, and mastery. And mastering them is very hard and takes time. Even now, I misinterpret a lot of them. In my opinion, I think mostly the right-brained people are able to see them. Creative, artistic-minded people may find it easier to connect the dots. A glimpse of the future, seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, months, years, decades, or centuries and beyond. I once saw a very simplified chart of the booms and busts of the market called the Banner cycle. It was created by a guy named Samuel Benner around 18700 or 1870s. I believe that or I believe this knowledge is somewhat related to that. However, it can go way further outwards or within down to the seconds. That's enough talk for now. Let's go ahead and see some charts. I've been able to gather some charts that I could find and some posts that I could find. However, I didn't document a lot of them and I could not show you those. And these are some of the ones that I was able to document at least. And there's a lot of them, and these are only a few. So let's start with gold. So this one, I posted this around August 15, 2023. This was when I started to notice that a super cycle was about to happen. So I started posting it, and this is what it looks like in here. This is the actual chart back then. It was around, yeah, this was around August. So that's the chart on gold. And this is what it looks like at a bigger view. I think I started buying around this area right here. And then I started to notice, okay, this is exactly the same thing that's happening here. And then I started to post it. This is the power of what it can do. So it can go way further outwards, months, years. It can also go within. So if you take a look, I can see it, I can sort of picture it or imagine it or create it in my head before they happen. Here's a very detailed view of it. So this is where I started buying. This is when I started posting, and this is where I thought it would do just by looking at the patterns that I saw, and the result was very close to the reality result. I think this was one of the bigger ones. Okay, so this one is different. So that is for gold. That was posted around. I've made a bunch of posts in gold back then. I think it actually goes way further because I've still followed gold all the way to now. So around, I followed it. I've made posts along the way. I can't find them. Um, I also made posts before the super cycle ended. I think. Yeah, I think just January 29. I I I gave up looking for the top before it went to the top because I don't know how far it actually the wick would go. So I just waited for the first red candle that would happen, and when I analyzed it at that time, I thought that this was the end of the super cycle. I think if we actually look at it, yeah, I believe it was this time. So January 29. Yeah, that's January 29. I posted as well way before it happens. I just didn't know how far the wick can go because I didn't even bother. And because otherwise I'd have to stay there minute by minute, second by second to see, hour by hour to see how far it can actually go, and I didn't want to do that. So if we take a look, so along the way I've also posted some of these. So these are basically the cycles within cycles. These are the smaller cycles within that big cycle. So if we were to take a look at gold, so this is how I track them, how I track each cycle. So if you take a look, maybe we can look at it at a real chart, October 16. October 16. Okay, so this was on here. probably too small. Okay, there it is. So basically, these cycles, they are kind of small, so they tend to occur over and over again, and they usually are started with something like this. So it would look like this, and then there's a big M here, another one, and then there's a big M there, and then another one, there's a big M there, and then the biggest one was this guy. So by looking at all these structures before they happen, you can kind of foresee or give you an insight of what it eventually will look like. And that is how I was able to see it. So in here, you can see all these cycles happen, occurring over and over again. And what's this one? Oh, this one is different. This is USD CHF. So yeah, so that is for gold. And this one, let's take a look at USD CHF. You might see something cool here. Okay, I put this here just to kind of show the evolution or the mutation of these currencies along the way. So if we take a look at USD CHF, it started very big. And actually, let's look at DXY. Might be able to show you DXY, the mutations of currencies and the markets. And it's also happening in stocks. It's also happening. It's actually happening everywhere. So if we take a look, if someone looks at this, and I've asked a lot of people before, when they look at this, everything is just random. And also you can actually see the evolution of the throughout history. So I'm just gonna put this in a 5-day overview here. So when you look at this, it all seems random, but the more you look at it, the more you see the repetitions. Like, let's say you have this guy. So so let's start simpler actually. So you have a very big move here. This very big move, there's most likely another very big move before that. And that big move was followed by a smaller move. And that smaller move was again followed by an even smaller move. Maybe it's this one right here. This one right here. And for some reason, I don't know what they did, but these three new ones, they have been in a similar size. These three new ones that are happening. Maybe we now have good knowledge and technology to kind of stabilize things. But from my perspective, it started very big, became smaller, and became smaller, and sometimes some of them become way smaller and even way smaller. Like as an example, USD CHF. If we take a look at the monthly chart of USD CHF, this just becomes tinier and tinier. So here, so there's very big here, it became smaller. This is actually this guy, which is now very smaller, and this guy would be this guy, and this guy right here, and this guy now is this guy right here. So in each iteration that happened, they become smaller and smaller. And this guy is, I believe he is here. He's become so tiny now. And I'm not sure what will happen here, but eventually it's either going to get really way more smaller. I haven't analyzed this USD thoroughly, and it's also related to DXY. But I believe that at some point it becomes very small, that it resets and becomes very big again. Okay, let's go back to DXY and let's see what else we can see. So it became smaller, and also with DXY, what you can kind of see is that this there's a big wick here, and what you would notice is that this big wick is usually followed by a smaller kind of structure, and you can follow it through. So this guy is the smaller structure. This one's actually, and they repeat over and over again. And by looking at that, you can kind of foresee what's gonna happen next. So this is another big one. This is that. Let's color it yellow. And let's color these guys. Just leave it. Okay. So these are the repetitions. And this guy happened here again. So by seeing throughout history, you can kind of form a conclusion that this is about to happen again. And from what I see in the back end, it would most likely look closest to these two right here. Now, a very good trade would be to target this. This is a really good trade. And from what I can see, if we go to USD CAD, because this will shoot up really high. So this will happen, and then it will shoot up. It's either gonna be stopped here, or it will keep going after that. I think from the overall structure that there's a higher chance that we could go all the way back up here. That's from what I see so far, and we can actually so along the way we can analyze it, and if there is a good chance that it will continue upwards. The more we see the more it progresses, the more we can accurately, precisely see what's coming next. So let's say USD CAD. Actually, before I did have a screenshot of USD CAD back then as well. So if we take a look, okay, here it is. So I'm gonna make USD CHF go away. This is gold. USD CHF. Okay, so USD CAD. This was one of the good trades I had because I shorted the indices and then bought this. So around 2024 9 September, I saw this was about to happen again. So this big thing here, but only this time it's stronger. So this is what it looked like when I posted it. So I'm gonna put this here. So around this time, this is what I saw, and I think S&P pulled back really hard on this one, and I was able to short that, and I was also able to buy this. This was actually a really good move, a very big one, and I think I had a post a long time ago uh, showing how it will form this whole thing, and it did form very close to what the reality or what the actual candle formations are. I just cannot find that screenshot or post. It was sort of like what I posted with gold, kind of like this, and how the candles will form. So that's for USD CAD. This one, I just had a chuckle with this because a lot of people during this time they were buying it around in this maybe in this area because they thought that it was gonna go up, but I was just like, I posted it on this one. I posted to myself and just for my own humor that these people are gonna get demolished by this train because I saw that it has a very higher chance or much more higher chance of it collapsing than than it holding and reversing. That's for Euro CHF. And the next one here, oh, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin back then, Bitcoin is very cool. Um, let's look at Bitcoin. So I didn't care about crypto back then. This was back in 2023. I never traded crypto before that. I thought it was just a scam. So I posted this. Could lose money. Haven't really had much interest in crypto. This was when a classmate of mine asked me if I could analyze crypto for him. I wasn't really interested in crypto, but I gave it a shot, and I actually found it pretty cool. And with crypto, it's people see it very random, but crypto has actually done the same exact thing over and over again since its inception. I actually could show you my analysis here back then. So in here, I said each of these lines represent the start and end of previous cycles. So I actually went through all of them since the inception for crypto, and ever since that time they have done the same exact thing over and over again, but every iteration that it did, it got bigger. This time it got very bigger, and this is what this is the information I gave to him. So around this time, crypto was, I believe, was around here, or I think it was around here. I kind of saw that this big move was coming, so I just gave him this information, and I hope he made a lot of money from that, because I did. So that is for Bitcoin. That's the start of Bitcoin. here we are. Um, this one, 2025. Okay, so this one is before. So I tracked Bitcoin ever since then, and I also saw that it was about to collapse again. So in around 2025, July 16, it was there. So I started to let people know that the end is coming, or the cycle is about to end. So that's 2025, July 18. I'm just gonna set that aside here. Let's grab another one. Oh, 2025. So the earliest one I told people is around July 16 before the top occurred. So I made another post August 16, and I think this is August 16, the post I did. Oh, this is July 29. Okay, so let's look at this first because this is closer to July 16. Okay, so July 29, I posted this. So it reached the top, and then it was going to the very next top. And I put a line there. I just like created a scribble. This is where we should look for the top. So that's related. So that's August 16, and I think this might be the chart I gave people for August 16. Yeah, because I shorted it. So it's there. Can't see the dates. So this was August 16. Let's see. Bitcoin collapse August 16. And this actually threw me off because I had shorts here and some of these shorts they got closed out, break even. Some of them I took a loss and some of them I left behind because this part right here threw me off. And actually that part right there, I thought, so I think I made a mistake here. So I think this one should have been that one. Instead, I thought because of the scale, I think I mistook the scale. And I thought that this was that one. Instead, and that's why I lost some trades. I was able to take profits on some of them here when I saw a signal that it was strong. Maybe I can show you the signal. Yeah, so this one right here, I took some profits when I saw this one. It was unusual for me to see something like a very strong here when I thought that it was already collapsing. So yeah, this big wick here threw me off. So let's go back. So there, that's the Bitcoin post. And another one. So this one was on November 4. Yeah, so we're still tracking it. I still have shorts right now. And now I believe we're somewhere around here. I also made a post before it dropped around here. Yeah. So we're very close to the bottom. The large scale strength as well is bending, that it looks similar to or very similar to this area right here. So we are very close to its pivot, and if the scaling is right, because this is just a massive scale of this guy, if the scaling I did is right, then that would indicate that we're very close to the bottom. If it's not, then what we're currently seeing right now because I also posted a different scaling of this because it seems kind of off. I can't the scaling, it's a little bit challenging right now to see the scales. So from what I saw was that this area could still be this in terms of scale and in terms of how DXY is still moving instead of being here. So that's something that I'm tracking, and I'm looking at how it moves as it goes. But it does look like if this if the scaling, if the big scaling is correct, then we could see Bitcoin go all the way down to the 30Ks. Like this would, there's a potential that this will occur right now. And then this is where the bottom is. Instead of being close, like instead of being there, which is the middle or the median of it. Instead of stopping here, there's a good possibility that it will keep breaking all the way down to this part right here. Because if we take a look at the previous scale right here, the strength pattern stopped the drop all the way down here. So this area right here is this guy in the pattern or in the strength patterns. So there is a very good chance that we are still going to severely collapse all the way down to there. That's for Bitcoin. Um, it looks like I still have another post there. Oh yeah, this was before. This was when I took profits, and then I reshorted around this area right here where the signal is. So this is a stock Tesla. So I've also been trading stocks, and they're the same. They're similar. And this was back then. I have a lot of examples with stocks, and they're pretty cool. Um, so if we take a look, this is one of the posts because I kind of like Tesla's moves because I can kind of see it clearer than most. So in here we can see before that I started posting that Tesla was going to surge and then collapse. So this is where it was. And then in here around 2025 October 3, this is when I showed the top. Let's actually see here. 2025 October 3. Yeah, I think that's correct. And then I think Tesla is now down to this cycle right here, this one. Let's make it bigger actually. So Tesla is now in this area, so there's still two more big drops coming. I'm actually gonna put Tesla there. So what's next? Oh, oil. Oil was a really good trade. So back in October 18, uh, oil was a really good trade. I still have positions in oil. So back in 2025, October 18, I started posting that this was going to reoccur. This is a medium scale cycle of oil, and I'm gonna show you something about oil because this is a small to medium cycle of oil that's happening right now. Okay, and I'll show you the largest scale of oil. So that's in October 18. Put that here. And around November 2026, I started buying around this area. As it went down further, I started buying more. And this is the post I gave just to let people know that something big is coming. And it was around, I think, 120, 130, 120. Yeah, this is 120. This was what I thought was the top on the medium scale. And then it will most likely keep going upwards, and I'll show you why. So I'll put that there. Yeah, so this is a part of that oil trade. There's a massive oil surge coming. The war actually caused it to like burst, make a burst upwards. But from people's perspective is that the war caused it. But from my perspective, it was already coming. News just caused it to burst upwards. Let's go take a look at oil real quick. So oil, okay, so in here, I already made notes still. I should remove this. Okay, so in a larger scale, this is what's very similar that's happening now. So basically, this thing is happening there, is happening there, is happening here, and now it's happening here. They're repetitions that have occurred over and over again. However, now we need to find, now that we have an idea that these are the repetitions, now we need to find the closest candle formation for it. So as far as I can see, the closest in a large scale, this is where it bursted. The war caused it to burst. I was actually expecting it to trickle slower. But the war kind of made it faster and then caused more fluctuations there. So in a larger scale point of view of oil, we are actually this area right here, which has the same similar candle formations to this one, is actually still here. It's somewhere inside here. The overall strength levels. This is just the, like, we've just started. There's still we still have this move left of oil that's about to happen. And if we take a look closer in how oil is moving in its minor cycles. So I posted it to people that we were somewhere around here with oil, and that this would be the next swing that's coming. So most likely, there's a good chance it will reach here to 130 or 140 because it's very strong right now. And where we are at is that this is where we're at in this candle right here. As you can see, let's say this is a pair of letter M. This was bursted so high. So that's the letter M, the first letter M. And actually there's a smaller M here that kind of formed as well. And now we're on this M right here, which got pushed way too high again. So now I'm thinking this next one, this next M, will be quite big. It's just gonna get stabilized here, or it's gonna reach all the way here, depending on the strength levels that it will occur once we see it try and start a pivot upwards. It's actually, can we see it in a smaller time scale? Okay, so in a smaller time scale, it's somewhere in this area, somewhere here. So we're about to see this last swing, this last one, before it pulls back. So it could be that it's not going to be as strong and just get stopped out and probably around this area and pull back. But that pullback would be most likely this guy right here. Because this guy is that guy is that guy. So this pullback right here would be this guy. And then there's more coming. And hopefully it gets stopped here because this guy got stopped around that area. Hopefully it gets stopped there, and that's where furthest it can go. Otherwise, because there's this very big move and it's still very strong. It's still very strong. It could reach all the way to 180 or 190 or maybe even 200. And that would be very devastating for a lot of people. Okay, so now we've seen oil. So this actually happens everywhere in the markets. You can actually foresee or like have an insight on a lot of things: housing, interest rates. I know people always like look out for interest rates in by the Fed, but the thing is, from what I've noticed, is that you can see ahead of what the Fed decision will be by looking through the cycles. So we will see interest rates go higher from here on out for, I think, approximately 50 years. They will just stabilize up here. And I think that's it. I think I've shown you a lot. yeah, let's stop here. Um, Thanks for watching and have a good day.